Self-discipline is often seen as the silent power behind success. Today, we're diving into the top 15 habits that build self-discipline. Habits that, if practiced consistently, will change the way you work, think, and ultimately the results you achieve in life. 1. Waking up early. One of the most powerful habits that builds self-discipline is waking up early. When you start your day before the world gets noisy, you gain precious, uninterrupted hours for focus, reflection, and planning. Early mornings are when your willpower is at its peak. You haven't yet been drained by the day's distractions. By training yourself to wake up consistently at the same time, you're sending a message to your brain. You are in control. It's not about becoming a morning person by nature, but about mastering your schedule. 2. Setting clear daily goals. Discipline struggles in the absence of clarity. If you wake up without knowing what you're working toward, your brain defaults to distractions, comfort, and procrastination. That's why disciplined people build the habit of setting clear daily goals, specific, measurable, and achievable. Each morning or the night before, they outline exactly what needs to be done, then prioritize it. This prevents them from falling into the trap of being busy but not productive. Writing down goals also creates accountability. You've put your intentions on paper, which makes it harder to escape them. 3. Practicing delayed gratification. One of the strongest habits that builds discipline is the ability to delay gratification. This means resisting the urge for short-term pleasure in exchange for long-term reward. It's easy to binge-watch shows, scroll endlessly, or grab junk food, but these moments of instant gratification weaken your discipline muscle. By practicing restraint, you strengthen self-control. For example, instead of impulse shopping, you wait 24 hours before buying. Instead of dessert every day, you save it for weekends. 4. Building a consistent routine. Discipline thrives on consistency. That's why highly disciplined people rely on structured routines. A routine eliminates the need to constantly negotiate with yourself because the decision is already made. For example, if your morning routine is wake up, meditate, exercise, then plan your day. You don't waste energy debating whether you should work out or scroll your phone. Over time, routines turn into autopilot systems where good behavior requires less effort. It also reduces decision fatigue, one of the biggest killers of discipline. 5. Practicing self-reflection and journaling discipline isn't just about action, it's about awareness. Journaling is one of the most underrated habits that builds self-discipline because it forces you to slow down, reflect, and evaluate your progress. When you write about your habits, struggles, and goals, you see patterns that might otherwise go unnoticed. For example, you might discover that you procrastinate most when you skip breakfast, or that your energy drops every time you spend too long on social media. With this awareness, you can adjust your actions and build stronger discipline. 6. Exercising regularly. Physical fitness and mental discipline are deeply connected. Regular exercise is not just about health, it's about training your mind to push past resistance. Every time you complete a workout, especially on days you don't feel like it, you're strengthening your discipline muscle. Exercise teaches resilience, consistency, and perseverance. It also boosts energy and reduces stress, making it easier to stay disciplined in other areas of life. Think about it. If you can control your body to wake up, move, and push through physical discomfort, you're more likely to control your mind when it wants to procrastinate, quit, or give in to bad habits. 7. Mastering time management. Self-discipline collapses without control of time. Time management is a core habit that separates disciplined achievers from distracted drifters. This isn't about filling every minute with work. It's about using time intentionally. Disciplined people often block time for important tasks, set deadlines even when none exist, and learn to say no to distractions. They understand that time is their most valuable resource, and once wasted, it cannot be regained. Building the habit of managing your schedule prevents procrastination and forces you to focus on priorities. For example, dedicating the first 90 minutes of your workday to your most important task ensures progress before distractions creep in. 8. Learning to say no. Discipline isn't just about doing more, it's about doing less of what doesn't serve you. One of the hardest habits to build is saying no, but it's also one of the most powerful. Whether it's declining social invitations when you need rest, refusing junk food when you're on a health journey, or ignoring shiny distractions when you're chasing long term goals, the word no protects your focus. Every time you say no to something that doesn't align with your priorities, you're saying yes to discipline. 9. Practicing mindful eating. Self discipline shows up in everyday choices, especially with food. Mindful eating is a powerful habit because it combines restraint, awareness, and long term health. Instead of eating out of boredom, stress, or impulse, mindful eating means slowing down, savoring each bite, and listening to your body. This habit teaches patience, awareness, and control, all core elements of discipline. For example, instead of devouring fast food on autopilot, you take time to prepare meals, control portions, and choose healthier options. Over time, this builds confidence in your ability to manage impulses beyond just eating. 10. Eliminating digital distractions. In today's world, self discipline is under attack from one major enemy: digital distractions. Social media, endless notifications, and binge worthy content are designed to steal focus. Disciplined people don't rely on willpower alone, they build habits that eliminate these distractions. That means silencing notifications, limiting social media time, and setting phone free hours. By creating physical and mental distance from constant stimulation, you protect your focus. This habit is powerful because it requires proactive decision making. You're not just resisting distraction in the moment, you're designing your environment so that temptation is removed before it even appears. 11. Keeping promises to yourself. Discipline breaks when self trust breaks. That's why one of the most crucial habits is keeping promises to yourself. Every time you say you'll wake up early, eat healthy, or finish a project, and then you don't, you weaken your own trust. But every time you follow through, you build credibility with yourself. This self respect creates an internal discipline loop. You prove to yourself you can be trusted, which motivates you to stay consistent. The key is starting small. Don't promise yourself a marathon if you can't yet commit to a daily jog. 12. Practicing gratitude. Daily gratitude may not sound like a discipline habit, but it absolutely is. Why? Because it trains your mind to focus on what you have rather than what you lack. Many people fall into undisciplined behavior, impulse buying, overeating, overcommitting, because they're chasing something outside themselves. Gratitude interrupts that cycle. When you start or end your day listing things you're grateful for, you cultivate contentment. And contentment breeds discipline because you're no longer controlled by constant cravings or comparison. 13. Building financial discipline. Money is one of the clearest mirrors of discipline. Building financial discipline, budgeting, saving, and avoiding impulsive spending is a habit that strengthens self-control across all areas. Every time you resist the urge to buy something unnecessary, you're practicing delayed gratification. Every time you track expenses or save consistently, you're reinforcing habits of accountability. Over time, this financial discipline translates into broader discipline because the same mental muscles are at work. 14. Surrounding yourself with disciplined people. Discipline is contagious. One of the most overlooked habits is curating your environment by surrounding yourself with people who embody discipline. When your circle values consistency, focus, and growth, you're naturally influenced to rise to their level. On the flip side, being around undisciplined people who indulge in laziness, procrastination, or excuses will drag you down. This habit is about intentionally choosing your environment, both people and places. It might mean spending more time with mentors, joining accountability groups, or even following disciplined role models online. 15. Taking consistent small steps. Finally, the ultimate habit that builds self-discipline is focusing on consistent small steps. Many people fail at discipline because they try to do too much too fast. True discipline isn't about giant leaps. It's about daily actions repeated over time. Whether it's writing 1 page a day, saving a small amount weekly, or doing 10 push-ups each morning, small steps compound. They train you to stay consistent and remove the overwhelm of massive goals. The beauty of small steps is they're hard to quit because they don't demand huge effort, but they deliver huge rewards over time. Self-discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, habit by habit, choice by choice. Each of these 15 habits may seem small on its own, but together they form the backbone of success. Start small, stay consistent, and watch how these habits reshape not only your daily routine, but your entire future. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your stories. And if you found this video valuable, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss our next deep dive.